What's up guys, I'm Dean and welcome back to my channel. I think it's about time I make this video because I have something to share with all of you, and that's that I really love The Last Jedi. And I know that's controversial, but that's why I'm making this video. So to explain what I'm going to do in this video, let's pass it over to a good friend of mine. It's me. Here's a TikTok I made a couple of weeks ago. What's up guys, I'm Dean and I really love this movie. Just in case you didn't see, that was The Last Jedi, my favourite Star Wars movie ever, and I know in some circles that's a controversial opinion, but that's what I'm here to talk about. I could just go on talking and gushing about how much I love this movie and everything I like about it, but I think there might be a more constructive way to have this conversation. Go on. So what I want, all you people who don't like The Last Jedi, is to tell me why in the comments. Give me well thought out critiques. Just don't say I don't like it because it's bad. Just give me genuine problems you have with this movie, and then I'll respond to as many as I can. I might just reply by text, I might do lots of video replies, or if I get enough comments I might make a YouTube video out of it. That's a good idea. I just feel like this is a more interesting and constructive way to talk about our different opinions on this movie. And if it goes well, I'll do more of these in the future, maybe with the prequels, because I don't like them and I know lots of people do, so then we can have conversations about that as well. Thank you. You're welcome. That was weird, but it was a good point. I got 228 comments on that video, so I'm going to talk about a lot of them here, but let's have a quick disclaimer first. I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion on this movie. If you don't like this movie, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that, but I just want to share with you why I love this movie so much and address why I don't agree with a lot of the complaints that people have about it. So let's just get right into it and talk about some of these comments. So let's get started. Let's look at our first comment. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about all 228, but a lot of them have the same complaints. This guy with an absolutely delightful username thinks it completely does not deliver on what The Force Awakens sets up. And I love that about this movie, weirdly enough. I think a big issue with The Force Awakens and the way J.J. Abrams starts stories is there's way too much mystery boxes, especially for a series like Star Wars. The two big ones are who is Snoke and who are Rey's parents. And in between the 2 years from The Force Awakens coming out to The Last Jedi coming out, I'm sure you could have looked up any theory and gone, Mace Windu is Snoke. Anyone. You could have chosen literally any Star Wars character, and they either would be a theory on the internet about them being Snoke or them being Rey's parents, or both. And that was kind of getting a bit old for me by the time this movie was coming out. And there was no way Rian Johnson could have pleased everyone. Look what happened when Palpatine was revealed. Nobody liked it. There was no way that Rian could have come up with a satisfying answer to all these issues. So he completely subverted our expectations, which I loved, and went in a completely different direction, which works so well. He didn't deliver on it at all. He did nothing, and I think it works so well. He made Snoke irrelevant to the rest of the trilogy, and he made Rey a nobody, and I love the fact that Rey was a nobody. That was one of my favourite decisions that he made. Like they said in Ratatouille,
not everyone can become a great artist. But a great artist can come from anywhere.
Okay, got quite a long comment this time. Just take a moment to read it through, and then I'll talk about why I completely disagree with it. Do I think The Last Jedi completely ruined Luke's character? Obviously not. I do not think anything like that. Before this movie came out, I wasn't a massive Luke fan. I didn't dislike his character or anything, but I never would have chosen him as a favourite of mine. Now, he probably is my favourite in all of Star Wars, largely thanks to his arc in this movie, which I think was so well done. There is a bit of an issue that Rian had. This is also to do with the hand that J.J. Abrams dealt him, and that's why is Luke secluded, cut off from the Force, and not a very nice person in this. And it's because that's what J.J. Abrams made it happen. In The Force Awakens, it was established that Luke was cut off from the Force because he didn't sense that Han died, and also that he was a hermit. So Rian did what he had with these hands and made something really beautiful out of it, in my opinion. Because I think some of you fans really expected Luke to stay the same over the 40 years in between the movies. Of course, this character is going to grow and evolve, and I think Rian did that in such a great way. Of course, he's going to be a little more jaded and bitter, because he fought the Empire and he defeated it, and now it's all happened again, and there's nothing he can do about it. And now let's reference the other part of this comment, and it's the fact that he supposedly tried to kill Ben. Did he try to kill Ben? No, he definitely didn't. In The Last Jedi, we see this scene 3 times. We see 3 different accounts of this scene, and the third one is the true one. And in that scene, we saw what actually happened. A moment of doubt. It wasn't he tried to kill Ben. Let me put it this way. Luke has gone through enough already, and he can sense that his nephew is angry and emotional. So just once, Luke sneaks up to him with no malicious intent and reads his mind. And what does he see? He sees darkness. He sees the Empire rising back up. He sees the Republic crumbling, democracy failing, and the Sith ruling. Even planets are blowing up again. So he ignited his lightsaber, and the second he hears the sound of it, he immediately regrets it. Let's not act like Luke has never made a bad decision in all of Star Wars, and I really disagree with the fact that he's the most optimistic character in all of fiction, because I don't think he is that in the original trilogy either. I think this is a really fulfilling and great arc we get in this movie. From at the start him saying he's not going to face the First Order with a laser sword, and at the end that's exactly what he does. That end scene is just one of the best scenes in anything ever. I love it so much. Some people also called Luke's character comic relief in this movie. I kind of get the complaint of iffy comedy in this movie. I didn't mind it, but I get why others would. But calling Luke a character of comic relief in this movie is just blatantly, I think, not getting the point of his character in this movie. Because I get it if you don't like the arc, but it's definitely not comic relief. It was definitely not written that way. I also got a few comments about how bad the throne scene fight was and how stuff was disappearing and the choreography didn't really hold up under scrutiny. I have a couple things to say about this. Number one, I didn't notice this in the movie, and I'd be surprised if anyone really did notice this on the first watch in the cinema. All these details that people point out to me do seem like stuff you'd only notice when you slow it down and watch it at home, so I don't think that damages the overall movie quality at all, really. And also, I don't enjoy fight scenes for the great choreography or stuff like that. Of course, that's an element to it, and I don't think the choreography was bad here. But what really drives a fight scene, or a duel, especially in Star Wars, is the stakes and the emotional weight behind it. And this scene had that in bucket loads, so I still really enjoy this duel. Now, the biggest complaint I probably got was about Rose. I mean, I did tell people not to just complain. I wanted reasons as well, and there's no reasons why this person doesn't like Rose, so I'm just going to make assumptions about why they don't like Rose based on problems people have with her, which I don't completely agree with. I think her character in this story is a surrogate for the audience and also is supposed to represent the traits which make Star Wars good. Because yes, she is a little cheesy, but Star Wars is a little cheesy, and I don't mind that, and she's hopeful, and she's brave, and these are all traits we want to see in Star Wars characters, and I think she did that very well. Nothing wrong with Kelly Marie Tran's performance in this. I think most of us can agree on that, and I think she definitely did not deserve to be written out of Episode 9. If people didn't like the character, you make the character better, you write the character better, you just don't write them out of the movie. I'm looking at you, J.J. Abrams. People also complained about Finn's arc in this movie and that he was wasted. I think overall in the trilogy, Finn was wasted. Yes, there were some really interesting things you could have done with this idea of a stormtrooper going rogue, but I think he was handled really well in this movie. And I think he did have quite an interesting arc, so I'm going to explain to you now what I think his arc was. Because at the start of Episode 7, he was only motivated by his own self-interest. He only freed Poe because he needed a pilot to help himself. And then when they got to Maz Kanata's castle, he tried to escape the First Order, not caring about the others. And then in the latter half of this movie, all he cared about was Rey. He went to Starkiller Base not to stop it. He didn't want to stop it. He went there just to save Rey. And then at the start of The Last Jedi, he was getting to the escape pod just to help Rey. He didn't care about the Resistance. And at the end of Episode 8, he had gone from being selfish to being only wanting to help Rey to wanting to help the entire Resistance and the entire galaxy. I think his arc is a very intelligent one to build upon from where he was in Episode 7, and I think it works well here. Now let's address the elephant in the room, Canto Bight. I probably think this is the weakest part of the movie, but I don't hate it. I love this movie, so obviously I don't think it's that weak. It's only 11 minutes long as well, so I don't think it completely ruins the entire movie, even if it was bad. But let's just talk about the scene in general and why I don't hate it. Because to me, the whole theme of this movie is about failure. Luke failed Ben, Rey failed the Resistance, Poe failed the Resistance, and here in Canto Bight, both Rose and Finn also fail the Resistance and fail themselves. And I think that works so well here. Because they did fail at the mission they went to do, but they succeeded at planting a seed of rebellion on a new planet. And I think the inspiration we get from this young boy at the end of the movie is really well done. So I think that's all of the general complaints people have about this movie. So let's just go through a few more quickly that I thought I wanted to talk about. Okay, so some people were complaining they don't like The Last Jedi because of what happened in The Rise of Skywalker, retroactively changing things about it. And I don't think that's a complaint about The Last Jedi, that's a complaint about The Rise of Skywalker. Because nobody goes about The Force Awakens, oh, I really don't like The Force Awakens, because they set Snoke up to be someone, and in The Last Jedi they just killed him, and they set Rey up to be somebody, and she was a nobody. Because that's a complaint about The Last Jedi, surely. I've addressed these complaints in this video already. These are complaints about The Rise of Skywalker, a movie I'm not a fan of, not complaints of The Last Jedi. Okay, this comment is completely valid. Point taken. And the last comment I wanted to talk about is this one, a complaint about Kylo Ren, my favourite character from the sequel trilogy. I thought he was really well done, especially in this movie. And I really don't think he did keep changing from bad to good. I think because he just killed his father, obviously there was a lot of conflict within his character, and he slowly just slid more towards the good side. But he never got there in this movie. I don't think there was ever a bit when he was good in this movie. He killed Snoke out of anger, not out of altruistic reasons, really. With all that said, thank you for listening to me rambling on about how much I love this movie. Beautiful cinematography. Didn't get a chance to mention it, so I'm just going to chuck that in there now. Next time you rewatch this movie, if you don't like it, please try and watch it with an open mind, because I live by an ideology about movies that you should try and enjoy every movie. And when you rewatch a movie that you already don't like, I'm a victim of this. You are looking for things to dislike. But please keep what I said in mind when you rewatch it. And if you love it, good job. We can be friends. We can be pals. And if you want to disagree with anything I've said in this video, I know you're going to anyway. You've probably already typed your comments, but put them in the comment section. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. That still feels weird to say. I have a podcast now. It's called HD Movie Talk. I'll leave a link to that in the description, as well as all my other links. But thank you for watching. Let me know what kind of YouTube videos you want to see in the future, and I'll see you next time. Bye.